Good day everyone, my name is Steven C. Barbot, a BS Criminology 4th year of STI West Negros University. And today, I will discuss to you the criminal justice system of the Philippines and their roles. First, what is criminal justice system of the Philippines? The, the Philippine criminal justice system is composed of five parts or five pillars, namely the law enforcement, prosecution, court, correction, and the community. So, what is the first pillar of the criminal justice system? Is the law enforcement. The first pillar is the law enforcement in the Philippine criminal justice system. It also performing law enforcement function is the National Bureau of Correction, which is under control of the Department of Justice. So these agencies are authorized to conduct investigation of crimes, gather evidence with respect thereto, arrest suspects, and refer cases to the prosecuting arms of the government. Why is law enforcement is considered as one of the pillars of the Philippines criminal justice system? Law enforcement is the first pillar of the criminal justice system because it is the system that individuals first encounter when they go against the law. So it is also the most visible system to society because we see the law enforcer officers every day. Why is the law enforcement considered as the prime mover of the criminal justice system? Because it is considered as the prime mover of the criminal justice system. Law enforcement is the deterrent and preventive activity. Prevention of crimes is intended to prevent root causes of crime. Now, let's proceed to the second pillar of the criminal justice system, which is the prosecution. So prosecution arm of the government, it is mandated to uphold the rule of law. So the National Prosecution Service is made up to the regional, provincial, and city prosecutors and the state prosecutors. So what is the role and the function of the prosecution in the Philippine criminal justice system? So the role of the National Prosecution Service in the criminal justice system is twofold. First is to investigate allegation that a crime has been committed. And number two, the prosecute of all cases involving violation of penal laws. And it is quasi-judicial organization expect to deal with fair execution of laws. So what is the prosecution in the Philippines? The role of National Prosecution Service in the criminal justice system is first is to investigate allegation that crime has been committed. And number two is to prosecute all cases involving violation of the penal laws. And it is a quasi-judicial organization. And prosecutor's duty is in fact to search for the truth, assist the court to arrive the truth, and to restore justice among the community and the victim and the accused according to the law and dictates of conscience. Prosecutors shall in accordance with the law and perform their duties fairly, consistently, and expeditiously, and respect and protect human dignity and uphold the human rights. So thus contributing to ensure due process and the smooth functioning of the criminal justice system. And that is the prosecution. Now, let's proceed to the third pillar of the criminal justice system, which is the court. The court is the cornerstone of the system wherein it determines whether the person charged with a criminal offense, if and if it is not. When the courts of law finds an individual guilty of violating the law, a sentence shall be imposed upon him not to change the criminal's attitude. So, what is the courts of criminal justice system? So, They decide whether a person committed a crime and the punishment should be. They also provide a peaceful way to decide private disputes that people can't resolve themselves, depending on the dispute or crime. So some cases end up in the federal courts maybe, and some ends in the state courts. So the third pillar of the criminal justice system is the court, and it is the forum where the prosecution is given the opportunity to prove that there is a strong evidence of guilt and against the accused. It is also in the courts that accused is given his day to disprove the accusing against him. And the responsibility of the court is that to deal with all criminals and civil cases, to grant quick justice to the people of the Philippines, to issue writs whose the fundamental rights has been taken away, deciding disputes in the course of helping to keep the peace. Courts are called upon to decide controversies, and if in criminal case the defendant, one charged with a crime, denies committing the act and against him, and the court must choose between his version of facts and that presented by the prosecution. And now let's proceed to the fourth pillar, which is the correction. uh, Correction is one of the imperative pillar of the criminal justice administration. It is tasked to safekeep and to rehabilitate those convicted by the court, and it is in correction where the better part, which is greater duration of a sentenced person as he spends the judicially prescribed penalty. And what is the role of correction in criminal justice system? Correction refers to the branch of criminal justice system that deals with individuals who have been convicted of a crime. And the role of the correctional system is to ensure that an offender's sentence is carried out, whether it time in jail or prison, probation, and community service. And what is the purpose of correction? Is abstract, and four different goals of correction are commonly exposed: retribution, deterrence, incapacitation, and rehabilitation. Each of these goals has received varied levels of public and professional support over time. And the aim of the Department of Correctional Services is to contribute towards maintaining and protecting a just and peaceful and safe society by enforcing court-imposed sentences, detaining inmates in safe custody whilst maintaining their human dignity and developing their sense of social responsibility. And that was the fourth pillar, which is the correction. Now let's proceed to the last pillar, which is the community. The community is viewed to be an integral part of criminal justice in the Philippines and has been recognized in that it is the fifth pillar of criminal justice system, and the others are the police, prosecution, courts, and the correction. What is the role of community in criminal justice system of the Philippines? So, commonly has been unparalleled role of the fifth pillar in criminal justice system. In this connection, community is to understood the mean as elements of mobilize and energize to help the authorities in effectively addressing the law and order concern the citizenry citizenry. What is the role of the community in the treatment of criminal offenders? So probation is based on notion that the treatment and rehabilitation of offender are better achieved in the community. Since the community is the center for legal, socio-economic, and cultural changes and developments, probation enables offender to adapt more effectively to life outside prison, and defining three district pillars for citizen engagement to the community pillar relates to the activity that is intended to promote goodness or improve human quality of life and community being. So, for me, for what is the most important pillar in the criminal justice system in the Philippines? So, the first pillar is the law enforcement because it contains mainly of the office and men of PNP, National Police, and the NBI, the National Bureau of Correction, and the other law enforcement agencies. And the justice system in the Philippines is mixed legal system of civil, common, Islamic, and customary law. So the formal system of trials, appeal, and the prison is similar to that of the Philippines. So I hope you understand all my explanation and the rules of the criminal justice system, which are the law enforcement, prosecution, court, correction, and the community. And there are saying that the correction is the most weakest pillar among the five because in the correction they rehabilitate or they fail to rehabilitate the person when and if it is put in the community or back to the community, the people are still committing crimes because they are lack of programs that can help to the PDL to become more responsible in terms of laws. So I hope you understand, and that's all. Thank you.